Film is both cultural industry and a powerful representation. These are the Thai films that made the most money in Thailand, some exceeding even more than 1,500 million euros. But what they all have in common is the so-called commercial Thai Hollywood cinematic styles. While Janet's Tiger works is focusing on how advertising historically changed production of practice in Hollywood cinema, strongly suggests that a culture of production has transformed into a culture of consumption. This is nowhere more apparent than in Thailand, where Thai advertising agencies turning towards filmmaking, which we'll look into that in a bit further. There's no other people who would put it better than Apichatpong W, who is the first filmmaker in Thailand in Southeast Asia to receive the Palme d'Or Award in the 63rd Cannes Film Festival in 2010. And who is also an influential figure of this indie film movement, where he once said in the interview that today's film have no creative signatures. Thai people tolerate so much that we absorb a lot of foreign styles, Roman architecture, and TV soap opera, so Thailand is increasingly a mixing bowl, and consequently I don't think Thai film has a clear identity. In this video essay, I'll introduce you to the world of Thai independent film, or Thai indie film for short, or what I like to call the film outside your comfort zone that makes you question political and social aspects of Thai society. Firstly, I would like to explore the notion of indie first. Indie is a growing international phenomenon against the commercial culture industries that translates into particular practice that I just mentioned earlier. In Thailand, the indie movement started around the late 1990s. So the concept of independent meant being economically independent from major studios and conglomerates, as well as being independent in spirit, vision, and content. In contrast, according to Ming Mongkon, indie is a conceptual branding that makes something that does not have a category make sense to the audience or consumer. For her, there's no way you can be completely independent as a filmmaker. Indie is more of a flavor or style and brand. But for Apichatpong, there's a difference between commercial films and independent film. As he said, independent filmmaking will exist to counterbalance the market. It's just part of the business. It could be concluded that different directors have different aspects regarding the indiness of the film. But what they all have in common is that they don't follow the consumption trend, but rather turning their focus and energy on their own industry. Consequently, the film elements also vary depending on that particular filmmakers. Such examples are: in 10 years Thailand, there are 4 short films from 4 different views on Thai directors on what they think would be of Thailand in the next decade. In another film, Mary's Happy, Mary's Happy, which is premiered in Venice International Film Festival in 2013, which is directed by Nawapol T, who's a semi-independent filmmaker. Since he made both indie film and also on the mainstream industry, which his work includes Heart Attack. The film Mary's Happy, Mary's Happy is all based on 410 tweets from a teenage Twitter account. It follows the tweets chronologically, even though sometimes the story structures doesn't make any sense, but it has really some serious underlying themes behind the film. Another example is the technique which is used by Apichatpong by using exquisite corpse techniques, which is a collection of words or pictures gathered together collectively. This technique is initially used by French surrealists when in drawing or painting, but since he got inspired by this, he applied it into a filming technique where he just asked someone to tell him a story, and he traveled to different parts of Thailand and let the local continue that story, which is basically experimental film in his first feature film of Mysterious Object at Noon. I wouldn't say Thai indie film has any particular film theory, but from what I noticed is that most indie films have quite realistic mise-en-scène since it is linking to the culture context, which is best put by producer Pongsoy Okson Sawang, who is known for her particular film Nakhon Sawan. It was screened in Busan International Film Festival in 2018. She said that we often feel isolated We have to depend on ourselves individually to create, produce, and sell our film. We do not know who to turn to. So the realistic mise-en-scène is more because of financial reasons rather than the director's choice. And this is also even mentioned by Apichatpong when he received the Palme d'Or award in the Cannes Film Festival.
Been endured to the hardship of making movie because we have a very low budget and everyone is really dedicated to this film that I'm really grateful for them. And also,
aside from the budget issues, filmmakers in Thailand also have to contend with state censorship. Film histories like Dom Sukhawong and Sawat Suwarnapak points out that the 1930 Cinema Act, which ensures states' right to censor and license films and film advertisement, is still in place. Also, another interview with Apichatpong is that he said, I would rather not screen my films in Thailand if doing so entails self-censorship or brings him personal risk. Because there was some scene in the Syndrome and Century film where there's a Buddhist monk plays a guitar and he was asked to censor his own film by the board of censor. So the director refused to cut the film and withdrew it from the domestic release. So aside from these issues, the influence of him receiving the highest prize in the Cannes Film Festival has made Thai indie film becoming a more familiar art form in Thailand. But it wouldn't be the most accurate word to call Thai indie film a film movement, since what defines a film movement is often followed by a wave of film that has a particular trend. But because of these young filmmakers are still facing financial issues and censorship, it's still an ongoing collection of film rather than an actual movement. Although I use that term for the sake of simplicity in this video, but there are a number new filmmakers increasing every now and then. This breakout convention set by commercial Thai narrative styles can be marked as a step forward for Thai film industry in the process of finding our own film identity.